Welcome to Soul Connections. Thank you for being here and for choosing to spend this time listening. On this channel, I share real near-death experiences and spiritual encounters that people have trusted me with. Stories that often arrive during moments of deep crisis and return with profound reassurance. The story you're about to hear was shared with permission by Marcy, a registered nurse who has worked in healthcare for nearly 4 decades. Her experience happened early in her nursing career, during a severe illness that left her clinically dead for several minutes. What she describes is detailed, sensory, and deeply comforting. I'll be reading her account in her own words as faithfully as possible. You don't need to analyze it, just listen. This is Marcy's story. I'm a registered nurse, and I've been a nurse for almost 39 years. Back in 1987, I had a patient with a type of bacterial pneumonia that carried a 99% mortality rate. Even though I follow every precaution, the kind of PPE we all become familiar with during COVID, somehow myself and 2 other nurses caught it. I got the worst of it. I was sick for months. I saw numerous doctors, including one of the best infection control specialists in the country. I hadn't been out of nursing school very long, maybe a year or so. And at that time, I lived in the nurses' apartments across from the hospital. One of the other nurses came to check on me and found I had a fever of 104.2. I had a horrible cough and strep throat on top of everything else. I was extremely ill. She walked me across the street to the emergency department. I was admitted immediately. My chest x-ray was completely whited out. My lungs were full of fluid, and I was taken straight to the ICU. I was so sick, it's hard to put into words. My fever climbed to 105.4, which is dangerously high. I had been in hospital for so long that I finally prayed to God and said, either let me heal and live, or let me die. I just want out of this misery. I had also requested an EEG because I wanted proof. If I had no brain activity, then I was truly gone. Eventually, they stopped all medications because I wasn't responding to anything. No meds, no oxygen, no IV fluids. At that point, none of it was working anyway. My fever was sky high. I remember looking up at the ceiling in my ICU room, and then suddenly I wasn't there anymore. I found myself walking along a path through the most beautiful field I had ever seen. There were flowers I didn't recognize, colours I had never seen before. I noticed a large group of bearded irises. I leaned down to smell one. It smelt like lemonade. I continued walking and noticed a low stone wall ahead, with a break in it. Around that moment, a golden carriage came into view, and I stepped inside. There were other people there too, and we looked at each other with puzzled expressions, as if none of us fully understood how we had arrived. The carriage took us to a large mansion. We were brought into a round room painted a soft robin's egg blue, with golden candles and candlesticks lining the walls. 2 large arched doors stood at the far side. The room was filled with people, young and old, different races, all standing together. Then I felt something behind me. I turned around and saw my grandmother and great-grandmother, who had both already passed away. My grandmother had been 80 when she died, and my great-grandmother 100. Yet now they looked about 17 or 20 years old. They told me I couldn't touch them. They said it wasn't my time yet. About then, the arched doors opened. Angels began escorting groups of people through. These angels were beautiful, but also slightly frightening. I think because of the light of God surrounding them. They were enormous, about 10 to 12 feet tall. The glimpse I caught beyond those doors was beyond anything I can describe. Literal golden streets, what looked like diamond sidewalks, a peaceful stream running through the middle. It was breathtaking. I even tried to bolt through the doors myself. But the angel stopped me and told me again it wasn't my time. The next thing I knew, I was back in my ICU bed. A nurse saw my eyes open and said, "You can't be here. You died." The doctors had already pronounced me dead. My family was outside the room, and the funeral home had been called already. They told me I had no blood pressure, no respirations, and my EEG showed no brainwave activity. I had been dead for over 8 minutes. Your brain can usually only survive about 6 minutes without oxygen. I kept my near-death experience to myself for 30 years. I finally told my husband on our 20th wedding anniversary. Only recently have I begun to speak publicly about it. 2 things stayed with me from that experience. The first is that we are all one. The second is that I saw animals in heaven, dogs and cats, likely pets who had once belonged to people on earth. I share my story to offer hope that there is an afterlife. I didn't go through a tunnel of light. There were no rainbow bridges. I didn't see God. But the love and warmth I felt, it stayed with me all those years. Let me ask you something. Did you get up today, eat, maybe take a shower, or go to work? Did that really happen, or did you dream it? For me, it was the same. I could see, hear, smell, and experience everything. This was not a dream or a hallucination. It was real. My near-death experience has been verified by International Association for Near-Death Studies. And to this day, whenever I lean down and smell a bearded iris, I still smell lemonade. Thank you for listening to Marcy's story with such openness. If you're here because you're searching for reassurance, comfort, or understanding about what may lie beyond this life, I hope her experience has brought you some peace. At Soul Connections, you're always welcome. Whether you come to listen, reflect, or simply feel less alone. I'll continue to share stories that have been trusted to me, told gently and with care. Until next time, take care of yourself.